How do birds migrate? Magnetic navigation. Birds use Earth's magnetic field as a stop sign during migration. When I lived in Canada and Montreal, this is what a beautiful sight that was. We were always wondering where they were heading, how did they know, and they were so organized. It was a beautiful sight. Now, this article has to do with songbirds, but I believe it has to do with every migrating bird. This is by University of Oldenburg on phys.org. A new study published today in Science sheds light on how birds navigate back to their breeding site after flying across 2 continents. The study, part of an international collaboration led by researchers at the University of Oxford and including scientists from the University of Oldenburg, suggests that information extracted from the Earth's magnetic field tells birds where and when to stop migrating. This trick allows them to precisely target the same breeding site year on year from thousands of kilometers away. How birds sense the Earth's magnetic field has been the subject of intense research. Birds might even see magnetic field lines and possibly use this ability to both determine the direction they're facing in and where they are. Dr. Joe Wynn, formerly of the University of Oxford and now a researcher at the Institute for Avian Research in Germany, said that whilst we know an increasing amount about how birds inherit migratory information from their parents, how they return to the same site year on year with pinpoint accuracy has remained elusive. It's quite exciting, therefore, that we've been able to find evidence that magnetic cues could be used by songbirds trying to relocate their homes. He started developing the idea for the study during a stay at a guest scientist in the research group of biologist Professor Dr. Henrik Murtesen at the University of Oldenburg. Murtesen was also involved in data analysis for the study. You have arrived at your destination. The team analyzed data from nearly 18,000 reed warblers to investigate whether the birds used the Earth's magnetic field when finding their breeding site. Reed warblers are tiny songbirds that fly across the Sahara Desert each year to spend the summer in Europe. They found that as the magnetic field of the Earth moved slightly, the sites to which the birds returned moved with it, suggesting that birds homed to a moving magnetic target. The birds appeared to use magnetic information as a stop sign, with magnetic inclination in particular telling birds that they had arrived at their breeding location. The work utilized ringing data for nearly a century. Uniquely numbered metal rings have been attached to the legs of birds from across Europe. Dr. Wynn added that ringing data are a fantastic way to answer questions about migration, simply because they've been gathered for so many years across a very large area. And when looking at where birds and ringed and then recovered, it seems that reed warblers used a single magnetic coordinate, a bit like a stop sign. When they reach their right magnetic field value, they stop migrating. So why use a magnetic field to inform return migration? Dr. Wynn explains that magnetic information seems to be pretty stable, meaning the magnetic field does not change very much in a given location year on year. Aiming for a specific magnetic value during migration might make sense, and the cue we think birds are using, inclination, appears the most stable aspect of the magnetic field, and we think this gives the birds the best chance of making it back to their breeding site. So in conclusion, Dr. Wynn said that the transcontinental migration of birds that weigh less than a teaspoon is remarkable for so many reasons, but the ability to precisely pinpoint the breeding site from half the world away is perhaps the most extraordinary aspect of all. That we can investigate this using data gathered by scientists and bird watchers alike is extremely exciting, and we hope that this use of citizen science data inspires others to go out, watch birds and get excited about science more generally. So this is from Joe Wynn and Magnetic Stop Sign Signal European University of Oldenburg on phys.org. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box